Good evening and welcome to this special meeting of the Changemakers tribe. And this is an interesting experiment that we are doing where we can have consultants, trainers, and coaches come together and become a group that works together while keeping their own freedom. They also get supported in fulfilling the objectives. So we're trying to see how we can create a community, right? So there are multiple intentions that we have, as you know. One is like every organization being a positive contribution on the planet. And then each and every each and every consultant also having the mindset required to make a to be they themselves being a positive contribution on the planet, right? And then we are training them, training the organizations inside of that. And then third is, of course, each consultant, trainer, coach experiencing being supported. Now, maybe we need to see maybe we need to redesign something here because something is not going well as visible from the number of people here. So I think there is an opportunity to pivot our design, maybe. All right, let's see. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, but Padma, welcome. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
I'll just join in. I'm in the car.
Yeah.
I'm going up to my house.
Okay.
I'll just join.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's discuss what are what are your inputs for creating this community? Because definitely we need to learn and approach it again from a fresh perspective. Not that we want to give up the game, but definitely we need to learn something here and maybe see how we need to redesign. Maybe, and maybe not. Maybe uh, it could be a small group which works together, and then we build something through that. So it doesn't even have to be. So let this kind of open the space for you. Uh, you're part of this group. Is it adding any value to you? Is it something that you would like to build? What are your thoughts here? I mean, anybody can start.
So, good evening, Manoj.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah, welcome.
So, for me, the intention of being here was that, um, to be a part of the community where people are already coming from diverse backgrounds. In the first meeting, I remember I was very much excited because we had people coming in from so many different backgrounds. Like Upma was coming in from style perspective and then presentation perspective, and then Rajneesh was coming from the entirely different perspective. There was somebody from the IT space. So and the way we had created was that there will be some expert sessions that where we will allow people to share their expertise, and so that there is a lot of co-learning that is happening.
Right.
And then we did that, and then after that, we aligned on that we want to first create a common language
Right.
around which we will all speak. So I
Right.
believe that it has added a lot of value where we are. And then I believe Rajneesh also led one session on his domain expertise, which I was not a part of. I was looking forward to hear that from him. But I think we are on a good trajectory already, and then intermittent value addition sessions from this kind of domain experts, that would definitely add a lot of value, because I believe ultimately the goal is the same. We want to bring about a positive change on this planet.
Right.
So baby steps, of course.
Okay. Thank you. Anything for anybody else?
So
Mohit.
it is
Yeah, Radhakrishnan, go ahead.
yeah, it's a part of learning process, because learning is a lifelong process rather. So others experience, no, I'm able to capture, and then whatever freelancing or consultancy I'm doing, I am able to give the inputs whatever I learned from there. Like especially the way we are discussing about the listening, the contradictory thing we should catch up. So that's a very important point in our life, which we have missed all these days. At least
Right.
at 60s, I feel that we have missed it. At least now, I think the youngsters or younger generation should actually go deep into that and make a point in their life. I feel like that.
Okay. Yeah. So, so you're saying this is adding value for you, right?
Exactly.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. Mohit.
Manoj, I do not come from a formal consulting background.
Right.
Been an entrepreneur and before that employee for some 12 years. I've done businesses as entrepreneur, but consulting is more of COVID phenomena. So it felt very good to be in company of professional consultants who do it for a living for decades altogether.
Right.
It helped me sharpen my pitch, specifically as a employee or as entrepreneur. I was not in habit of listening. I was in habit of telling.
Right.
Or ignoring.
Yeah.
My boss is saying ignoring. So it's a welcome change for me. I am still not in habit much. I get distracted, honestly. But slowly, is in fact, I've written on chat on one-to-one basis to you. I've told in an advanced AI program. And they have kept their first call at 7:30 today. I'm just wishing
your voice is
that
cracking.
they don't keep it a regular affair on every Tuesday. I'm saying I'm just
I
hoping
got that. I got that
they do
message.
not make it a affair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yes, I'm really looking forward to contributing and at the same time receiving a lot from all you seniors of the industry.
Okay. Got that.
I know you have given me this responsibility of leading the AI stuff. I'm still making up my mind on where to start, how to start giving that knowledge or whatever direction I have. Part of it is it will come from this AI program also. This is for solopreneurs only.
Okay.
So let's see if I should have something substantial soon.
Okay. Got that. Padma, anything for you?
I do have to reach out to my my peer trainers. I honestly, I must admit, I have not made the effort. I have posted once on LinkedIn about this the group, the Changemakers tribe, and if anybody wanted to join, there were a lot of responses. I'll just check the responses and then reach out to them individually, and a few more I will reach out and add them on to our group. So honestly, I have not put in my 100% there because I've just been caught up with a lot of things in the last 4 weeks, which are over. Yesterday, I kind of have become a little more free. From today, I've become a little more free. So I'll also take on interviews maybe next week, 1 or 2 interviews I'll do next week. So
Okay.
yes, it's nice to get to be a student again.
Right.
The lifelong learning process, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, very good. Great.
I also want to add this, Manoj, that I have been on the other side of the table engaging consultants for my business.
Right.
And I have had horrible experiences because they came from a very high-headed and very opinionated kind of thoughts.
Right.
So that's another thing which motivates me to be a big, great, better consultants. And thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that semblance in the group.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
This
Okay.
is a very valid point that Mohit is telling. I also
Yes.
felt like that when you are in industry, the consultants come and dictate terms more than our bosses. And we are supposed to listen and then follow them, and not none of our views are heard anywhere. He is right, 100% right.
Yeah.
I mean, Nilesh was a welcome change. I have attended few sessions and actually also dealt with a couple of clients with Nilesh, and I've seen his approach, the participative, the persuasive, yet assertive approach.
Okay.
That's great.
Good. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So what I am understanding from you is all of you is we should continue this effort. Is that correct?
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Okay. And then it's not a compulsion, but it is definitely a request that get some more like-minded people so that we have at least a decent quorum and we
Right.
can get more value from interacting with each other. So that would be my request. Two things I would like to share, two positive news. One is from Nilesh. Nilesh just launched a 1-year program for entrepreneurs and called a mastery mindset. And with I would say, Nilesh will correct me, but approximately just 2 or 3 weeks of marketing, personal efforts, he was able to start with 15 plus people. And they signed up, entrepreneurs who signed up for a 1-year program, which is like where he will be doing 1-day sessions every month and followed 2 follow-up calls, support calls during the month, like that. So that is one, and I'm going to invite Nilesh to share. And then I am about to sign a contract with one of the big consulting firms to train their senior trainers on deep listening. Three full days of training in deep listening. And it's like we are not even doing the whole theory or anything, just 3 full days of deep listening. And it's kind of going to be a informal TTT. So this is going to be like phase 1 of the TTT. But mostly given that they are very smart people, they may not need the phase 2. But it is going to be a big breakthrough. And in terms of, and this, by the way, from a business development perspective, this has taken 1 year.
Wow.
And I was like, and initially they said we want to train these people, then said no, we want to train this group, the senior most people. Ultimately they said, oh, why don't you train us only? We ourselves, the team of training. So they're kind of training their senior most trainers, and then they will run with that program, mostly all over India and maybe even beyond. And this
You
is the
should offer compliment. Yeah.
Sorry?
Please.
So this is the
Please continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is the first time we are doing a full 3-day only on deep listening. And otherwise, they are looking at theory U overall. But this is a kind of a positive development that big companies are appreciating this, and they came with a specific request. So it was like they had all in their own, they had designed training programs for their people, and in that they had kept a conversation of listening for 2 hours, and then they expanded it to 4 hours, and then as they kept on interacting with me, and we kind of kept distinguishing for them and all that, they said, "Oh, we are willing to do it a full thing." Go ahead, Mohit. You were saying something.
Yeah, I'm saying you should offer a complimentary ticket to this group for that event.
No, we don't do that. Especially, we don't do that in customized courses. These are client courses, so where we don't do that. We definitely offer a lot of other things, but not in client courses. That is sacred. But yes, we will keep sharing from that. Nilesh, you want to share something from your how your participation in these conversations? Of course, you have been into this, and so what do you want to share anything about your mastery mindset and what are you learning here that helped you to do that better?
Yeah, thank you. I'm extremely sorry, everybody. I'm traveling from Jalgaon to Aurangabad in a car, so I'm not able to keep my video on. Uh, but I want to attend that the call. That's why I'm on the call. So I launched Mastery Mindset, a program which will create a lifetime impact on the organization. So we decided not to transform the individual. We decided to transform the organization itself. So earlier I was working for lean management, but from last 2.5 years, 3 years, I'm working with Manoj. So I'm learning organizational development consultancy, OD consultancy. In that context, first time we launched this mastery mindset program where we are focusing on lot of issues, strategic recruitment, and as well as lean we are covering. But the best part is I attended the Ahmedabad workshop and I asked every entrepreneur, what is your objective? What do you want to create? And within a 2 weeks time, we started with 22 people. 15 people signed up before the session. 4 people signed up after the session. A lot of people requested for the repeat session because they want to join other people. And it's thriving like anything. So in Ahmedabad session, I discovered how you need to learn to get the customer objective, how you need to create a deep listening with the customers. Like I don't know, I was aware about listening. I was training people into listening in landmark education for almost 1 decade, 10 years. But I discovered very newly what is mean by deep listening in the Ahmedabad workshop. So in short, uh, it's a very good launch for us. This is the first time in the context of OD consultancy, we started mastery mindset and we are focusing on mastery. We are not focusing on numbers, results. We are focusing on mastery, which is, I think, independent of numbers. And surprisingly, people cause some numbers also. And at the same time, today is a big day because we signed up with one big company who is number 1 company in health insurance industry. So today we trained their 153 salespeople and to get the customer objective, how to listen their customers. So today I'm coming back from Jalgaon after the this and they signed up for us for 1 year.
Yeah,
So
so
in all, this
that's a separate
2024,
workshop. Yeah.
this 2024 is unique year for us. Like a last 3 years, whatever I learned, um, I'm getting output like anything. That's what my experience is.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Nilesh.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So one thing is, like many of you, Nilesh had a particular domain expertise. Actually, he was an expert in lean management. And what we have been training him in now is to not only do lean work, but also learn organization development. And why we are training him is just because he is interested in it, not because it is compulsory or it's good or anything. It's just that since he was interested, we have started coaching him on those dimensions. So in this 12-month program, as he was mentioning, will be including things like strategic thinking, strategy planning and execution, and capability building, innovation culture, innovation projects, and all the whole world of organization development, right? That is necessary if you want to transform an organization. Okay, so those of you who are interested to know more about it and you want to kind of maybe learn, maybe explore collaborating with us on that, you can have a separate conversation on that. Okay, you can reach out to me personally. Hey, Kundan, welcome. Can you put your video on?
Yep, I was checking it myself. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you, Manoj.
Yeah, so you want to introduce yourself? Is this your first time?
This is my first time, yeah, just come across.
Okay, so you want to introduce yourself?
So I have a kind of little weird introduction, as in been an engineer throughout my life as education. But then after 12 years of corporate, now I'm into full-time entrepreneur, startup. Created a business and now into coaching and working with leaders, business leaders.
Okay, great. And where are you based, Kundan?
Delhi.
Delhi. Okay, great. Welcome.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here. And who introduced you to this group?
I'm not sure. I think not through any direct contact for sure. But
Okay.
I'm sure I came across through some research and
Through
then
maybe through LinkedIn?
most probably, yes, it could be.
Okay, okay. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so this is a group where we call ourselves the Changemakers tribe. All of us are consultants, trainers, and coaches, and most of us work in the organizational space. Right?
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and we are kind of trying to create a common language for ourselves, and we're training ourselves to do professional consulting and also collaborate with each other and that whole world. Okay, and then
So
there are many other things
sorry,
involved.
quick introduction. Like I have also done this OD consulting work, as in sorry, executive program from TESS. So actually, that got me into this world. Though
Okay.
I'm not actively pursuing it because I use those practices for my own business startup and for the coaching business because I enjoy that space.
Perfect.
But then I think I'll have a lot to learn and share whenever it's needed.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And if you need anything, you can reach out to me personally and we'll have a deeper call. Okay.
That's really nice of you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Kundan. Hey, Manan, welcome. Hope your father is recovering well.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Is your father recovering well? Manan? You went on mute. Okay. Hi, Simi. Welcome.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, great. Thank you. So let's continue the work that we started last time and let's do some more practice around that. So one thing that we looked at, if you remember, we started this Google Sheet in which top management interview conversation was there. Okay. And this is something that should be useful for most of us. So I'm just going to repeat some of the key elements of that, and then we will do some practice rounds. So first is, whenever we meet the customer, we want to understand some basic information. Okay. And suppose you're meeting a new customer, then it's important that we have done the homework. And any information which is available on their website or on their LinkedIn, the first rule is you cannot ask for that information.
Absolutely.
Right? If you ask for that information, that means you have not done the homework.
Prepared, you're not prepared.
Yeah. So you are actually ineligible to go ahead in the discussion, right? So it's expected that you know everything around that. And so you need some basic information, whatever is available through public sources you need, and then you can ask. And then how you build the conversation, there are multiple things. But right now, what we are looking at is an interview portion of it. We're not looking at everything, but we are just looking at the interview portion of it. Okay. And in the interview portion, the first thing that we want to know is what is their most important objective. If you want, you can write down this question because this is like a miracle question. It is a simple question, but it can open up a whole world. Okay. And you will be surprised that this one question can last for half an hour or 1 hour also. It depends on our quality of listening. Okay. So the first question that you want to know is what is their most important objective? Then we want to know, other thing is what are their key challenges in fulfilling that objective? Third thing is what kind of support are they looking for? And the fourth thing is how would they measure the success of our contribution? Okay. So I'll repeat. First is what is their most important objective? Second, what are their key challenges in fulfilling that objective? Third, what support they would like? And fourth, how would they evaluate our contribution? Okay. So, Mohit, oh, you have to go in sometime, right? Otherwise, I was planning that you can have a mock with somebody, practice with somebody. Okay, so let's see. So Kundan, you also have your own business, right?
Yes.
What is your business?
It's a creative agency. We make art films and a lot of content creation for
Okay.
corporates.
Okay, right. So now you are here in this group here, right?
Right.
So let me ask you these questions in the context of your participation in this group. Okay. So what is your most important objective, Kundan?
Okay, so in context of my participation is to be that professional where I add value. So, for example, coming from a diverse background, it has its own advantages but disadvantages also. Where I lack on the jargons, and certain times it's very important to impress the customer in front, even though you are coming with all the right intentions. So I think for me, my most objective here now is it to sound and to behave like, and that is just to correct the eyes. I understand that is not the whole idea of doing the consulting, but I think that's where I want to understand and be a part of the cohort where I can learn more.
Okay. So that so you want to learn the language of consulting.
Correct. Yeah. I agree.
And that would help you in.
As I said, mostly in the corporate world. So when I work with startup leaders, they are much more flexible. But I have been many times evaluated based on the certifications and the kind of language and the terminologies that I use, which very much makes sense because then you have to have a entry barrier. You have to have those criteria. So then I want to work on those areas and make sure that I'm up for it.
Right. And so what would you say then, based on whatever you just said, what is the bigger picture for you?
So bigger picture is basically, since I have done as an, in a very simple crux, if my hero message would be to enhance or enlarge my impact. And that will only happen if I get access to bigger crowd, bigger corporates, bigger projects. So I think that's where I'm trying to reach to.
Okay, got that. And if I can ask you to look at the future, right? So let's say next 10 years or so. Okay. What would you say from that context is what's your objective over the period of next 10 years, 15 years?
So mostly within the next 3 to 4 years, my plan is to be on this stage. I'm working on my personal branding. Even though I want to be at the corporate setup, I do want to have my personal brand because my creative agency has a strong base of a brand agency also, right? And what I have seen is always is the fight of brand. Who is the bigger brand controls the, the whole discussion outcome. If I'm talking to a coach who is a bigger brand than me, then I'll have to surrender to. So most of the time. So that's where I think in another 10 years for sure, I want to be somebody where it's not just my work, but also my name as in somebody who's a change maker. And that's why I'm working like I have my podcast, I work on book, and then I also want to make sure that I work on the organizations, on the design and the structural level to understand the nuances. So, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Fantastic. Fantastic. And you did mention some of it, but still I will ask that question.
Please.
What are the key challenges you see in accomplishing this objective?
So one of the thing is maybe that every 5 years I change my career and I take it as positively because since my teenage I have been very much not the norms guy, as in because I think human capacity is way more than just sticking to something one, as in, and that's how I have been shaping my life. But that what happens is the resume, the kind of conventional market is there. That building of resume is not letting me getting into the projects which the kind of project I want to. So that's why my constant quest is there that if I have a cohort, I have the experience that you guys bring in. And there could be a genuine need also. For example, there are certain bigger projects which I cannot handle it. I should have a cohort where I can talk this language. I can make people understand because when I go in my creative agency, I cannot talk this language. That's a very different conversation I do. When I go for stage motivation, I talk some different language, but I love this. I know this knowledge is gonna help me throughout. So yeah, as
Perfect.
in
Perfect.
contribute both the ways.
Perfect. It makes complete sense to me.
Thank you.
And what support you would like from this group, and how can this group contribute to you?
So I think it will simply start with knowing each other because when we talk, when we come on video, when we have conversations, we all are watching each other. We get that what we call in Indian terms is the vibes, the energy. So for sure, we get curious about each other. You being so welcoming has really, that's something I took it very positively. Now looking at Padma and Radhakrishnan as in all the faces here, I think I will certainly would love to check you guys on LinkedIn, and then based on how exactly you can professionally add value to each other, I'd be like that would be my start point.
Right. And you would be open to some other contribution that we might be able to do, right?
Absolutely. I would love to be a helping hand. As in, I always tell myself that I love to be a fresher or in dawn, as in that's where you get the more learning. So anything where I positively want to contribute, I would be up for it.
Yeah, and also allowing us to contribute.
Yeah. Absolutely. That would be a bonus.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, so let's pause here, okay? Because this was also, this are two things. One is to actually interact with you, but also to kind of do a demo for people on how we could interact or interview a client, right? So,
Right. Just Manoj, one thing, I could only capture two questions. The first one and the last one, how would you evaluate your contribution and what is the most important objective? What was the other two? Or will you,
so the first thing is what is your most important objective?
right.
Second one is what are the key challenges in accomplishing that objective?
Okay.
Third is what support you would like.
Okay.
Fourth is how would you evaluate the
Sure.
contribution?
Thank you.
Okay. And you can, it's a conversation. It's not like an interview, like a journalist interview, right? So
I understand. Yeah, but
you have
that's a
you have
good
to
flow
flow.
is there. Yeah, there is a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
flow.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody, let's hear from you what insight you're getting out of it, anything, any learning, anything. Open, the floor is open. Mohak? I know you have done this exercise multiple times, but still.
Yes. So, yes, I know you already said this. There were two aspects to this conversation. One was actually getting to know Kundan also. He's a new face in the community. So it was great to learn the kind of business he is in. And I'm inspired by a lot of things that he shared, like, taking all of the proceedings in a positive way and changing career every 5 years and speaking that with a drumbeat of the heart. So that was really awesome. And I could really see that it brings a lot of focus when the person who is being interviewed, he starts getting clear on what is the most important objective for him, because a lot of people do have some inkling around what is the most important objective for them, but unless it is articulated and it's actually put down in pen and paper, when they go through the process of putting it down on pen and paper, it doesn't make a difference. So even from a coaching perspective, if I'm coaching my client, I use this conversation quite often with very good results. And I just something that is a little off topic, but I really loved that part of the interaction when you said that we will ask you to contribute, and then as a follow-up line to that, then you also have to allow us to contribute. So much contribution is possible if people are open to allowing that contribution, so being contributable. So we create that distinction at the beginning of a coaching assignment with any company. So it was just great to listen from you that, just being open to be contributed to, even that makes a very big difference.
Right. Okay. Got that. Thank you. Anything for you, Padma or Radhakrishnan? Or Simi, anybody? Yeah. Go
Yeah, I
ahead,
think
Padma.
objectives are important. And I think when I look back at my life, I think my objectives have changed every few years.
Right.
So
Yeah.
right now I was actually contemplating what I should do, because I now want to be semi-retired and work at my own pace. I don't want to be full-time, running around and working. I just want to use my experience and, maybe do some student counseling is what I was just toying with. That idea was coming back to my head, which can be done online now. You don't have to be sitting at a desk. And honestly, even parents need some guidance on if there's an issue at school, how should they go and what should they talk to the teacher, how should they phrase their questions. So some kind of a preparation even for a meeting, whether it's academic related or interpersonal related. I was just thinking whether it's student or parent, both need help, a lot of help. And as someone who's worked in schools, I've come up with innovative solutions which have worked well. So I was thinking, so maybe that should be my objective right now, is what I'm thinking. I don't know. I should work towards that.
Okay, that's interesting.
This thought has come up just now, in the last 10 minutes.
Wow. Okay, perfect.
As I'm sitting here.
Yeah, I think that's a good side benefit that you're getting.
Yes.
Right? But sometimes the side benefit becomes the main benefit. But but I was looking from like you having this kind of interviews with your clients, right? Including the students and parents, right? You asking them their objective. See, whether you're serving the school management or the trustees or the students or the teachers or the parents, in every case, you can ask the same set of questions.
Absolutely. So even for that 1 hour meeting with the teacher, they want me to give them some coaching and guidance. What is the objective of that meeting? What will be a success factor for that meeting? And what are the challenges they face? Is there something, how do they word it? So those questions are valid even for that 1 hour meeting that they're going to have, that they have to go prepared for. Maybe they've been summoned by the school and they need some help on how to structure their thoughts and how to, what if they say this, what should we say? Those kind of things. Just
Right.
preparation is what I was thinking. I don't know whether it's a good idea or not, but it just came into my head. And of course, students also, student counseling as well, because I'm a life skills trainer, certified life skills trainer from the CBSE for adolescents, adolescents education. So for adolescents, generally, that's the time when they get into a lot of. So I just felt that I should kind of do that and spare some time, maybe an hour a day or 2 hours a day on this, and I can take appointments and do that. That's what I was thinking. So I was just wondering how I should structure it, what should be the message that should go out, and things like that. So that is that I understand what those 4 questions that you gave me will you help me for every meeting that I have with them. So
Yeah, and maybe I'm taking you on a different direction than where you're going right now. Because that's my orientation, is you could be looking at also like a separate possibility is the long-term collaboration with organizations, with education institutions.
Schools, yes. Schools and colleges as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So wherein you could design something, customize something, or I mean, sir, I am not in your field, but I'm sure there is something that you could be doing, which could be like a B2B2C, which is you work in collaboration with the institutions and then offer something to the students and
parents.
Through this thing and
institution. Yeah.
Yeah, and like for example, they have counseling centers or something where you could say, for example, collaborate with 10 schools or 5 schools, and you can offer 2-hour counseling sessions a week or whatever. So it all also is a long-term possibility that could also show up, right?
Yeah. Thank you for that another dimension.
Yeah, because B2C is a different game and B2B is a different game.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And we need to know which one we want to leverage. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Padma.
Thank you. Thank you for the trigger, the thought that came in this meeting.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, Simi, anything for you out of this conversation?
Yeah, so you may have seen me smiling. I was seeing it from, I think I've shared it before. I am a ISO certified coach, ACC, and then now on my journey to PCC. So when I was hearing this conversation, the questions, I was seeing it, from the light of like we do, the markers that we have, so there is a framework of certain questions. And, and obviously that gradually when we start keep practicing and the questions remain in the background, it becomes like, it's there. And then you start flowing with the client, there's a structure. And so I mean, and like I just heard Padma share, and it happens for the session, with the 30-minute session. It begins with what is it that you want to achieve, what makes it important for you, and how would you know if you've got it, those kind of questions that we have, aligning with the markers. So I was just kind of wondering how, coming from different places, and it starts to converge and go in similar direction. Yeah. And I've also, I'm seeing like sometimes in 30 minutes, I mean, the people who are no coaches, they are different kind of people. Some are social. I worked with social sector also. I've had a long corporate journey, and so I'm working with various kind of people. I'm experimenting these my coaching. I'm working towards my PCC hours now. So I'm working on various kind of like it's not only the senior corporate leaders. It's even youth. It is even social sector and all that. Within 35 minutes, the magic unfolds. They actually find the solutions from within, because as a coach, we don't give solution. We don't give them any answers, or, like don't even lead them towards it. And then just the magic unfolds just by this, some questions and just holding space and totally being with them. And like you said, deep listening. And I have done a short course of, Otto Sharma's a short course also from Theory U from the U Labs. So I can see
this is Theory U in action.
Yeah,
we have been working with Theory U for the last 7 years. And we are doing this OD consulting and leadership development. And we use Theory U as the foundation for developing culture and communication and leadership.
Sure. So what I'm saying is, when even like when being totally present with the client, And then the
Yeah.
generative listening, listening from what's emerging rather than what I
Yes.
want to, like when the judgments are kept aside, the solutions, and no need to give answers or even being being attached to the outcome. Something should happen. I should produce something, and then and I'm also sensitive to energies, so I have an energy background and all that. So I think all of this put together, something starts happening out there. Like we say,
Yes.
when you listen from that place. And
Yes.
I've seen in 30-35 minutes sometimes, they're coming with such difficult situations, and something happens there. Yeah.
Yeah. True. 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 That's very valid. Thank you very much for sharing that. And of course, this has multiple applications everywhere. And but one of the contexts from where we are using it is when we start our long-term consulting contracts with companies. And generally, we do 3-year consulting contracts. And this is where we start. Of course, we also use it when people register for our open workshops. So we again use the similar mechanism. But this also is useful for us to design long-term interventions and to get everybody on board. And why I'm saying that is because that's more in the context of what we're trying to do here as a group, right? Okay, great. So in the context of time, let's move on and give Kundan a chance to share. What was your experience of being on the other side as a customer, right? You experiencing these questions and the whole interaction that we had. What's your experience of it?
So from the perspective of role play as a customer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. For sure, there was a good flow in the question, which helped me, even though I have gone through my thoughts multiple times in my head, putting them in a sequence does help, right? And reiterating, and whenever the point is, it's not always the customer also knows the right thing, right? Because the problem usually originates because those are your blind spots. So many times you don't know what you don't know. Getting those reactions when I was talking to me, and when getting those reactions from even the consultant or the coach in front, if it is making sense, that means there is a way. So I think that was my biggest takeaway. Though, as I said, I come mostly from the unconventional space, but you hold the space very well. I think I felt heard. I felt accepted in the group, as in that is other than the client also. And yeah, now listening to the all those conversations also, even if I'm a client, it gives me the positive information that hey, the group is something which is positive towards bringing the change rather than just the role play. So thank you.
Okay, great. And from the context of you using this kind of questions with your clients, do you see any insight from that place?
So I think no, this that's why I again, as in I asked the questions again. Initially, I thought you were just explaining. I think that has quite a good ice breaking for sure. I think this is not going to be as easy as the kind of fun that, right? Because I have gone through my own, like I have planned
Yeah.
my till 85 years of my life, I have planned it. So even though it happens or not, I have a clarity. But then there was a flow, and even not getting an answer is an information. So then how do I route that and then shift my gear? And for sure, as you said, that at least you come with some of the homework. So you
Yeah.
know what exactly is making sense. And usually if we go to some now in the world of information, the best part is if the people are anywhere at the senior level, somewhere there'll be a YouTube video or some post or some article that they would have posted that talks about that person. So I think to start with, I would certainly would love to lead with these 4 questions and then see how the conversation goes in favor of the customer. So
Right. Perfect. Thank you very much. What I'm going to do now is going to give everybody a chance. I'm going to send you in the breakout rooms, everybody. Just practice asking these questions and listening to each other from this place. Okay. So you'll be 2 or 3 people in the group and just ask each other, what is your most important objective? And listen deeply, and then maybe go in further details and then go to the next question. What are the key challenges and how can I support you? All of that, right? So we'll give you around 7 minutes to do that. Okay. And go ahead. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I hope it was interesting. So
Yes.
let's have one line sharing from people. How was it for you?
Good. It's always good to chat one-on-one.
Okay, good. And did you discover something?
Yeah, I understood Simi's line of work and her
Right.
challenges.
Okay.
So
So we
perfect.
could do actually more one way. I mean, it went longer for one side only. So she was
Yeah.
asking questions and then when we
Yeah.
switched, we could not complete it. We could complete 3 questions and then
yeah, that's okay.
You can connect with each other separately.
Yeah,
You
that
can
I
share
already.
numbers and connect with.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So my invitation to all of you is to do these interviews this week and continue using it and use it to get into the world of customers. So what I mean by that is not only with your potential customers, but also just talk to anybody you know who's an entrepreneur or who's a CEO or anybody who's a senior management professional in any organization. Even if they're not looking at consulting, even if you're not looking to pitch to them, request them that to get into the world of their that profile, if you could do these interviews. Okay, and you will get a different insight on, okay, this is how people in these positions think, these are the challenges. So it kind of gets you into the world of the customer. Okay, so not only with your potential customers, but anybody in that profile, if you can interview, practice that. And once you do some interviews, and if you would like to update it in that Google sheet that we have created, let me know and I will give you the editor access for that. Okay. Everybody, thank you very much. Be in communication if you need anything. And